Hello and welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. All right, everyone, welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am so excited to be here with you guys today and looking forward to having a great episode. I have my guest that'll be joining in shortly, but I wanted to get on and give you guys a chance to come into the virtual studio. Make sure you go ahead and share with your friends, your family, tag people, let people know that we're here today on this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. This is a great opportunity for you to invite your friends and your coworkers and people that you know would be blessed by being able to watch these different episodes. Listen, if you're enjoying the Kim Jacobs Show, I'm asking that you take a moment today after today's broadcast and subscribe. Subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. I share this platform I share the show on like about 8 or 9 different platforms. And some of you are seeing it on Twitch. You're seeing it on not Instagram, but you're seeing it on all kinds of platforms, Facebook, multiple Facebook pages. And then you go back and you see clips on Instagram. You're getting to see it on Periscope. You're also hearing it on iTunes, iHeartRadio. You're hearing it on SoundCloud and Deezer. So I'm going to the extreme to make sure that you guys are getting the opportunity to hear and see the guests that I'm sharing with you. And the reason that I wanted to do the guests that I've been specifically handpicking is because we've been dealing with so much during COVID-19. And when I was kicking the show back off as we were in quarantine and staying at home and everything, I decided that it would be good to give people topics that would be helpful at this phase of our lives, because we've experienced so much of trying to learn how to become a better brand of ourselves virtually. How do we be able to care for our loved ones as they're aging, but yet we're social distancing? So how's our mental health? I've had different guests come on talking about a wide range of things, an array of things that I hope has really been helpful to each and every one of you that are viewing the Kim Jacobs Show. So if these are topics that you like, or topics that you want to see more of, or you would like to see some other topics that we haven't touched on yet, how about putting in the comments section some topics that would really be interesting to you? And just let me know by putting them in the comment sections, and I'll make sure that I get a guest on to talk about that specific topic. I mean, we've talked about being single. We've talked about relationship tips, what to do before you say I do, from my bishop. I say our bishop, but it's my bishop. And we've had all kinds of people come on to talk about a wide variety of topics. So I'm excited that today I have that's going to be joining me all the way from a whole different area, Central Africa time. And so he is here. I can see him in the back office, and I'm excited to have him here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull him into the studio. Let's see. Hopefully, we're going to go ahead and pull you in here. Let's see. All right. How are you?
Hi, Kim. I'm very well.
We meet. How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. And you?
I'm doing good. Now, please pronounce your name so I can make sure I say it right.
Oh, shame. It's Jan, but
Jan.
you can say Jan. Yeah.
Jan. And your last name?
It's Grobler. So for you it'll be Grobler. I suppose. I'm not sure.
Jan Grobler. No, I'm going to say it the right way. I'm not going to call you another name. You know, when I go and get my nails and stuff, different things done over the years, I'm like, you know what? I want to make sure I call my nail technician. She's Vietnamese, but I want her to call her the right name. So I'm like, don't tell me some fake American name. Tell me your real name, you know? So anyway, okay. I am going to take a moment to introduce you to everyone. And I'm so glad that you're joining us. So what time is it right now in Central Africa?
It is Namibia, and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon here.
Okay. We're very, very glad to have you here on the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you.
We're going to be talking today to the author of Get the Hell Out of Your Own Way. He launched his book on October 10th. It's coming out October 10th.
That's right.
2020. And we're going to be talking more about this book, but we are excited because he is a life and transformation coach, and he's also physiological kinesiologist and cognitive behavior specialist. By the time I finish saying that, you're going to have to just tell me the whole book just for me pronouncing all these titles. But he's also the co-author of Recipes for Being, how to just have the recipe for being, the Power of Seven book, and also soon to be the author of, we talked about, getting out of our own way. So he's going to be sharing some powerful tips and tools with us today. Welcome, Jan Grobler, right?
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Such an honor to be with you. Really grateful to be here.
Thank you. Well, let's jump right in. Tell us about yourself, whatever you would like for us to know. And you can take us as far back on this journey as you'd like. But then obviously I want our guests today to walk away with some tools and tips on how to get out of our own way.
Yeah. Okay. So Kim, yes, the book, my journey started about 4 years ago, and I was picking up this heart-shaped rock. It's in the book, actually, and I went through a very, very low period of my own life, very severe depression, and that was the turnaround point that day. God may as well threw me with that heart-shaped rock on that day, and that prompted me to just in like 3-4 days later go on to a journey with life coaching. So I went to a coaching journey. I realized within a very short period of time that this is what I want to do. I'm passionate about it. I love it. This is what I actually want to do for a life.
Before you keep going, because I can see you muting that, but can you also share, if you're a friend of mine on Facebook or you're on any of the pages, share it with your friends so they can all join in right quick.
Okay. All right.
So while he's doing that, let me make sure, because I want to make sure nobody misses out on any of the information that we're sharing. Okay. Make sure you guys know that we want you to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. And you can do that by going right to my YouTube channel after the broadcast. Don't do that now. Okay. So right after the broadcast, and you'll be able to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. You'll get alerted when we go live. You'll already know it. Keep in mind that next week, let me know when you've done that, Jan. Whenever next week, I will not be on the air here to do the daily shows. So I will be taking next week as just a reprieve. I need that moment because I've had a lot happening lately, but I'll be back on the week of October 12th, just as a courtesy to all of you that are watching. So Jan, go ahead.
Okay, so I've shared. Thank you so much, because some of my friends really wants to watch. I'm grateful that I could do that, Kim. Yes, so that was the pivotal moment in my life, and then I started out on this journey of life coaching, and very soon, as I said, I knew I wanted to do this for a life. It gave me this tremendous happy feeling, absolute bliss to help other people. It's just how it is. And I realized this is my purpose. And so I went and studied life coaching as such and transformation. But before that, I actually started doing the work. And all I did was I applied what worked for me. And so I kind of discovered my own path. And I know you don't want to use the words HELL, but
no. I mean, it's nothing wrong with saying hell. I mean, it's okay. You can say it all you want. I'm just saying, I was just trying to be courteous. I mean, people see the way I use it is, you better be careful, or you're gonna go straight to hell. That's the way I use it.
Okay. But I was in my own way, and I created, hell on earth. If you look at Jesus, he said, let heaven come to earth. But I created hell on earth, and I blamed everyone for it. And so,
oh, wow. Wait, because you're saying a lot of stuff, and you're saying it, and you're just kind of merging it into a story kind of thing, but you're saying some in-depth things that I want my audience to hear. You're saying that you were in such a deep depression mode that you were in your own way. And you were bringing kind of hell on earth for you.
Yes.
Even though that wasn't what had to be, it's just that you were kind of willing that into your own life. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes, I was the one that was in my way all along. I came from a place, Kim, back in the day where I blamed everyone. My poor parents, they did the best they could with what they had. I mean, they were not malicious at all. It wasn't like they wanted intentionally for me to have a bad life or a bad start to life. But I blamed. That's what I did. I blamed everyone around me for every relationship that didn't work out. All of that. And I was the one that was in my own way at the
Hmm.
end of the day. Yeah. And so from there, the title, get the hell out of your own way.
Yes.
Because I then started to pattern the process of what worked for me through life coaching and all my studies and everything that I've done. And I've done a whole lot of work. Um, with various coaches. And I started seeing, this is the trend. And I started testing it back in the day with people. And then I saw, wow, this friend of mine is just, I didn't even charge back then. She just changed her life, in a space of 4 to 6 weeks. The first big thing manifested. And then another 4 to 6 weeks, the next big thing manifested. And I thought, oh, wow, I'm onto something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember how one day I used to be a banker, Kim. I worked
Okay.
at bank. And so I was smoking. And I went to the smoking balcony and I saw a guy sitting there and he looked very depressed. And I went to him and I spoke to him. And he said to me, you know what, I just can't do this anymore. So I went and I invited him over to my house. I coached from my study at home at that stage. And I went through the same process with him. And lo and behold, he also had this wonderful experience. And every time, I did that process, the experience came. And
Hmm.
obviously, I then went and, soon I started registering a business, and that was also a story in itself. And so the path just unfolded, when you're in your bliss, when you're in your purpose, that's what you can expect.
So when
So
you say the process, because you say that this, lo and behold, this process, you shared it and it worked again, and what happened for you in your life happened for this gentleman that was like, I can't do this anymore. So he was
yeah,
on his last leg. I'm done. I'm calling it quits, and you happened to intervene, is what I'm
yes.
hearing you say. So
Yes.
when you intervened, what did you share with him that was that thing that gave him hope to say, oh, a new light came on for me, and woo, there's a light bulb moment. What was that? What was it, something that you shared?
Well, what I shared was, first of all, a tool that he could process his thoughts, because what I realized and what I stumbled on very, very quickly was, people talk about flow of consciousness, writing and all of that, but they don't know why they're doing it. Okay.
Mhm.
And I introduced that to him first, and I explained to him, I'm a natural teacher, so I can help people understand what it is that they're facing, and I can draw pictures very well. That's a gift that God gave me. So I helped him to understand that the reason he needs to write free writes, flow of consciousness, is for his brain to get a place of expression. Because, Kim, in today's day and age where we live, there's a lot of pressure. There's nowhere that I can soundboard it, okay?
Mhm.
And we don't want to prophesy nonsense into our lives. So
No.
what we want to do is we want to get a place where we can just express ourselves and let these things out, and that's what I've advised him to do. I said to him, just write down your thoughts every day and tear it up and throw it away. But also, I want you to start affirming yourself. I want you to start affirming that, God has a good plan for my life, because most of us come from a guilt place. We don't come
Mm.
from a love place, the unconditional love place, you
Hmm.
know. So the brain needs to get used to, I did mess up in my life, but guess what? That does not separate me from God's love at all, you know.
Right.
Um, yes, because His love is unconditional, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No
So
matter what phase we're in our lives, we still have that overarching love, and we can get through it. It can happen. That's why I'm doing the show, is because I want people to get beyond whatever circumstances or situations or whatever is that thing that's like the weight of the world on you, that you don't feel like you can balance or manage life anymore, guess what? You can. And hence that's why I have Jan
Okay.
here with me today. And different
Thank
guests like you, you know?
thank you. Yes. Yes, so that was the first thing we did, was actually go there. And the next thing we did was go into his sense of worthiness. What do you think about yourself? And at a subconscious level, what do you think of yourself? Do you actually love yourself? Do you think you're worthy? Do you think you're good enough? Because here's the thing, if you don't, you cannot outperform your self-esteem. It's impossible.
That's right. You can only be what you are. As a man thinketh, so is he. So I mean, that's I am what I think, you know?
Exactly. And if you go to all the translations, it'll say, as a man believeth he is, so is he.
That's right.
So you don't cognitively think there's something wrong with me, consciously. You go into the unconscious mind and you'll find it there, that I deeply believe for whatever reason, that I'm not worthy, that I don't deserve a good life. So
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, whoa. So this is really getting deep. This is Jan, you taking them into a different world here, and just making sure people understand that who they are is a gift, and what they bring to the world does make a difference. Do you believe that every person, no matter what phase of life they're currently in, has value and can bring some type of difference to the world? Because I believe that. That's why I'm asking you the question.
I believe that deeply, Kim, because there's not one person that is not being breathed. We all being breathed. And what we can do is ask ourselves, who's breathing us? How do we get to breathe? What is breathing us, And then the other thing to ask us is, in whose image are we made?
Mm-hmm.
What is the blueprint like? So if you go back to Genesis, it's clearly stated, let us make man in our image.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That image has no self-esteem issues.
That's right. Now it's a perfect
Not
form.
at all.
So it's like, we
Not at
just
all.
need to be able
Yeah.
to follow our whoever.
I
I'm big on not, I don't want to ever impose my beliefs on everyone, but I'm only sharing my personal beliefs, but my beliefs do not reflect everyone that's watching the Kim Jacobs show. And I understand that. But that's why I always encourage people to hang their hat or their soul on whatever it is that you believe, whatever is your higher thing that you claim hold to, then do that and do it with everything within you. But I personally believe in Jesus Christ. And so that's what I can only convey what I personally believe. And then I can bring guests on that believe various things and share your thoughts,
Yes. So that's what I believe as well. I believe that there's greatness in every single person. In the Indian culture, people say namaste, and I never understand it. I've been to India for 3 months at some stage in my life for a work project, and everywhere they go, they say namaste. But what it really means is the divine in me recognizes and honors the divine in you. And so I don't care where you are, what your religion is, and where you come from. At the end of the day, there's something beautiful in you that's just seeking to be expressed. And if we give attention to that part of us, that's spiritual, that's so divine and beautiful, then we'll start to just change our lives completely. Because that's what God's will is for every single one on this planet. We're not here to suffer. We're not here to suffer, and I cannot believe in a God that's smiling at what is happening in the world.
Oh no, he's not smiling at all. Even
Yeah,
now.
exactly, and that thinks that is what his children deserves. I can't. Yeah, my God is love, just love.
Well, my God is love too. So now, if okay, so how do, and I may not even know the right question to ask, so you just kind of talk and say some things that you would like to convey to people that are watching today that would inspire them and encourage them to be able to go further in this journey and get out of their own way. So share a few tips from your perspective on what it takes for people to get out of their own way.
A little bit of work, Kim. Nothing comes for free. There's no freebies in life. But we have in our conscious mind a faculty that is called willingness. And because we are made in God's image, and that image cannot be tainted, it cannot be, stopped from greatness. Okay,
Right.
we have capacity already to make any single change that we'd love to make in our lives, right? So what I would say to people is be willing to journey, be willing to do the work. The tools that I give in this book, if you don't do them, it's not going to serve you. The book is just
Mhm.
going to sit in your memory faculty, and you'll regurgitate it like any subject you've learned in school. And guess what? Um, you're going to regurgitate it. You're going to get full marks, but it's not going to change your life, right? So we want
Mhm.
to study, we want to understand, we want to make the change at a subconscious level, because if you look at the subconscious mind, it runs at magnificent speeds, so much faster than the conscious mind where we live from. And
Mhm.
that's where our behavior resides. That's where it comes from. So I always say to people, it's like, you have this laptop and you're smacking the laptop because the laptop is not performing. But
Right.
why don't you look at the software?
Right.
It's the software programming. Your
It's only
baby
what
brain.
you're putting in there that it can spit out. It can't put out any more than what you've input into it.
Thank you. Well said. Exactly that,
Mhm.
Kim. So
Wow.
we can stop punishing ourselves
Oh
and just
Lord.
go back to the cross. I always say,
My my
Jesus.
son my son just brought me breakfast. I got sidetracked for a second. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
So that
So I
that
always
right
say,
there is beautiful, beautiful. Being on the same page and having some positive energy in our home and life. Yes,
good.
it threw me
Good.
off.
That's
Sorry, it
wonderful.
made me break into like a hormonals. But go ahead.
Good. You've got a wonderful son.
Yeah.
So I want to say to people, my personal first transformation coach that did healing and transformation was Jesus, because when he prayed on the cross, he said, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do."
That's right.
Speaking about exactly this kind of programming, Kim, that people are battling against. And so if you look at somebody like Henry David Thoreau, he said, you know, and I'm going to paraphrase now, okay? He
Mhm.
said, um, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. But then he said, and that's where most of us coaches stops. Then he said also, he will leave some things behind, okay? And
Mhm.
then he will pass an invisible boundary, okay?
Mhm.
And the same universal laws, or even new universal laws, will begin to dawn on that person. And he will start to live with a license of a higher order of beings. Now, what that means to me is you find your bliss, you find your purpose, you found it, and you know that you can either live from love and 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 make every transaction an increase, every interaction a transaction of increase, okay? Or you can live from hate. It's a strong word, but let's call it fear versus love, okay?
Mhm.
Because the Bible also says, I didn't give you a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of a sound mind.
That's right.
But we will never reach that when we're in the ego mind. We will never reach that when we're in survival mode. Okay? We will only do that when we're in the sage mind and we connected to our source, and we plugged in to our source of love and come from that place. The more we learn to love, the more, and starting with ourselves, the more we will do great things.
Wow. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that because I like to make sure I recap what I think I'm hearing so that I'm hearing the right thing. That the more we love ourselves, the more we're able to love others,
Correct.
and we're able to have more love that's from a place of love versus a place of hatred because you're in survival mode. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Correct. You lessen the ego mind. You have less of a need to protect yourself.
Mhm.
Okay. You know that you are always protected. You know you're always aligned. You know you're always great. operating in love. And when you come from that place where you really love, starting with yourself, you automatically start to flow with a much easier life, and from that, so many other things, we can talk about forgiveness, forgiveness of ourselves, forgiveness of others, which is a touchy subject for people.
It's a
But
big time subject because people don't want to forgive people that have done them wrong. But it's like I don't have, like, I can only speak for myself personally. I can never talk for anybody else. I don't have a problem forgiving people because forgiveness is like, okay, that was your issue. That's whatever you chose to do. So be it. Move on, and everybody just move on. But I don't want to be like hanging out with you anymore either. It's like that's what it still happened. Yeah. And so let's not forget that this did go down. But yes, I love you with the love of God, and God bless you. But I'm not interested in just being, hey, let's go to the movies. Let's go. I don't want to do that anymore because still you violated that specific trust and that issue,
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100% correct. But, the one thing I have to say is that if we know why we want to
eat an egg.
Enjoy it, Kim. Why we want to forgive rather than feeling we have to forgive. Nobody said you have to forgive. You want to forgive. Because unforgiveness is unlike love. And unlike love is completely a different frequency. It's the fear frequency. It's not God's frequency. It's not the spirit that breathes you. It's not that frequency. So if you think forgiveness is about having coffee with that person again, that's not what it is.
Right.
It's so deeper, so much deeper. Nobody says when you forgive, you have to have coffee with a person again. Nobody says that you're approving what the person did to you either. Right. It says, I'm willing, like Thoreau says, to put some things behind.
Right.
Because
forgetting those things which are in the past and moving forward. That's,
Correct. Energetically, those things pulls us back and we feel like we can't move forward. Okay. That's one of the invisible boundaries that I believe is something that the human race face. That's the invisible boundary. We just don't know what we don't know. Kim, I'm struggling with a lamp here. It's getting dark here, and I'm in my practice office. So I'm sorry if it. I just want to move a lamp a little bit closer.
Oh, here, what I'm going to do? I'm going to remove you, let you get your lighting, and then give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come back on. So I'm not having you on there doing that. While we're waiting for Mr. Jan to come back on, today's episode sponsor is startmytruckingcompany.com. So I'll pull you right back in, Jan. Let me go to startmytruckingcompany.com. And it's a trucking company that's pretty much in a box, ready to go. If you're ever interested in starting your own trucking company from scratch, you can contact 214-699-5009, or you can email them at info@startmytruckingcompany.com. Again, 214-699-5009, or you can email them at info@startmytruckingcompany.com. It's everything you want to know about starting a trucking company in a box to go, ready to go, starting of a trucking company. You'll have your business plan. You'll learn how to develop different routes, call centers, international trucking routes. You name it, the owner and CEO has over 30 years of experience and is eager to help you with starting your own trucking company. Thank you for being today's episode sponsor, Start My Trucking Company. And Jan, I'm going to pull you back in now.
Let's see if this
works.
Right. A little bit better.
Yes, that's perfect.
All right.
So yes, loving ourselves and loving others and forgiving others and being able to move forward and not having to look back at the things that caused us the hurt or the pain or the agony to bring us down in life where we're so weight of the world, you can't function. That's not what God would have us to be. So today, my guest, Jan, I need to make sure Jan Grobler, right? I like to pronounce names properly. He's in Central South Africa, is here talking about how we can get out of our own way so we can have the ultimate success that we deserve. So carry on, Jan.
Okay, thank you, Kim. So yes, that on forgiveness, many people don't forgive, and they think that with a bitter heart they can have a loving and a prosperous life, but you can't. And so, in my book, I've made time to talk about forgiveness, and it starts with a self. I can only give what I have, right?
That's right.
I can't offer you anything that I don't have. So if I can't forgive myself, I'm incapable of forgiving another person.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
it's start. And so I thought maybe I can take you through some of the chapters in the book, or through all the chapters, and just give you an overview of what it's about.
You can definitely do that. And also, as we talk about some of the chapters in the book, where can people get a copy of the book? And I know, when is it being released? Tell us some of those key details as well.
Okay, thank you, Kim. It'll be on Amazon, available on the 10th of October. It'll be in Kindle copy and an hard copy available.
Okay.
So
And the name is, we already know, get the, I just say, because go ahead. You say young title.
Get the hell out of your own way.
And see the way you say it with attitude too. So you're actually, you give it that extra, get out of your way. There are a couple of books, Jan, just so you know, my son, he is an avid reader, and I'm an avid reader as well. But sometimes I'll pick up books that he orders from Amazon, and there's so the details and the content in the book is so helpful, and it's like, wow, this is so in depth. But some of the titles are like, I really have to figure out how to take the covers off, because there's no way. The title, one of the books, one of the books is like, it's all like unf yourself. It's like, I'm like, so, but when I go through, I can see different nuggets in there that are like, oh my gosh, I do that. I did that. This is so it's just this interesting way of slapping you and waking you up, but they, just using other language that could jar you and say, now stop doing this to yourself. Stop.
Correct. The reason I can tell you why I brought the word hell in was my life was a literal hell. And, why would somebody like Jesus say, let heaven come to earth if it wasn't possible?
Right. That's true. So basically, we're bringing hell on earth ourselves, is the point that's part of what I'm hearing you say. It's like, stop bringing hell into your own life and get it out of your life, because you don't have to go and live eternally in some hell, nor do you have to live in hell on this earth.
That's correct.
Hell like 60 different times just now, but just in a different way.
You see,
you're getting good, Kim. You're getting free.
And you're not prophesying at all. It's facts, right?
No, yeah, I just believe that we can do so much more, and we can live our lives and be not so burdened down and weighed down and heavy laden, because we can cast our cares on our higher being, which in my case, I cast my cares on I'm a joint heir with Jesus. So I believe that I can say, hey, God, please take this burden, help get it off of me. It's not too much for me to bear as a person. I'm one person, but you're God, you're omnipotent, you're everything, so you take it and deal with these crazos,
Yeah, exactly. So yes, God gave us free will to do life with, and if we don't become conscious very quickly about what are we creating, and realizing that if we create it in His image, we are co-creating our realities. That is so important. There's certain laws that this universe is run by, and it's governed by. So cause and effect, for one, is the law of laws. You can't hate yourself and expect a wonderful life, or do something to another person and don't expect it to come back. You need to be conscious, and it's a journey for us to, and it certainly was for me, to become a conscious creator, consciously creating my reality, consciously doing coming from a place of love, not coming from a place of self-defense, a place of victimhood and all of that. And it all changes the moment that we start to love ourselves, which, by the way, is also a law that Jesus gave. Back in the day, he said, there's only two laws that I give you. I came to cancel the law. There's two that I'm leaving you. Number one, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind and all your strength. And then he said, the second, that is as important as the first, is love your neighbor like yourself. We come to discipline where we are everything for everybody, and we want people to approve of us. People that's even unapproving of themselves will never be able to approve of us. It's not a sustainable thing. So we need to fill our own cups with love, and from that full cup, we can then start to give to people around us.
Wow.
And that changes.
That's good. Great information. Today we're talking with Jan Grobler, and I'm hoping that you guys are getting some great nuggets to be able to apply to your life. And we're getting prepared for a flash round. So if you have questions, go ahead and type your questions, ask any questions that you have, and also try to send shout outs. Just some positive encouragement as well to my guests. So let's go and see who's typing right quick. Okay, topics that are interesting to them. People want more information on mental health. Any words or thoughts on mental health?
This is mental health. If you can get to love yourself, right? You're going to find that mentally you're going to heal from depression. I mean, I came from literally a second suicide stint in my life to 3 months later where I started finding, fulfillment and meaning and purpose. And over time, I could, with my doctor, wean myself from all the depression medication. So I think it's Diane that asked the question. And Diane, I want to tell you, your mind is everything. It's like a vehicle's engine. You can have the best engine in that vehicle. If you don't look after your mind, it's going to drop you next to the road. So as a man thinketh he is, as a man believeth he is. So easy. It is not to be taken lightly. Okay. We can only give what we have. And if you don't accept yourself, it's like drinking poison. The late Nelson Mandela said, it's like drinking poison and hoping somebody else would die. No, you drink the poison, you will die.
You're gonna die, right?
That's what that resentment does to us, and we need to realize that. So I hope, Diane, that encourages you to get a copy of the book.
Yes. I hope that gets you a copy, Diane. Wonderful. Michelle says, my incredible friend all the way from Namibia.
That's right. I love Michelle, one of my wonderful friends, one of my biggest supporters. I love her. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Michelle. And please, Michelle, what is it, Namibia? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Namibia. That's where we from.
Namibia. Can you tell some more people from Namibia to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show? Seriously, I mean, YouTube is in Namibia too. Can you guys just subscribe, turn on your notifications right on the Kim Jacobs Show? Go do that for me, please. Okay. Let's see who else is on that had a question. Okay, see lots of comments and stuff. So okay, Allison. Allison said, you have to forgive yourself to love yourself, and then you can love others. Yes.
Allison, spot on. Spot on. Couldn't have said it better. Exactly, spot on.
Good evening to your guests. Did you say he's in South Africa? Yes. Go ahead. Tell them where you're from, where you are.
I'm from Namibia, and it's in Southern Africa. So it's not South Africa. We're neighboring South Africa.
So he's in Southern Africa. And it's right now, what time in Southern Africa? About 6 or something?
It's 1741, so 22:06.
Okay. I'm so glad that you came on the Kim Jacobs Show. So very glad to have you. Good question. Why?
I'm not sure what she refers to.
Yeah,
Good question.
you
So
may have to
maybe
clarify, Allison, because we don't know. Allison, he's from, okay, just north of South Africa. All right. Thank you, is what she said as well. Okay. My brother, Javon, is on. He does a panel discussion with the redemption of the Black man and like police officers and other solution providers to have some in-depth discussion. And so every month here on my show, he leads a panel discussion and he does a great job at that. So he said, great insight on what you're sharing.
I'm grateful, Javon. Very, very nice of you to. I'm really grateful that you like it, and very nice of you to comment on it. So I'm happy to chat to you too on that show. Please let me know.
Okay. What am I? It's a lot of comments coming in here, and y'all are okay. Y'all, I guess y'all are doing exactly what I said. Go to your virtual mics and start talking. So it's as if they're in the studio, Jan, right now, and they're going to the microphone and asking their questions and talking, as if we're having a live Q&A session. Great. Okay, many people find it difficult to create their conscious reality. Love the Lord your God and love your neighbor takes me back to the story of Philip teaching the Ethiopian eunuch.
That's true. Very, very true. Just love your neighbor like yourself. So that implies that we first need to fill our own cups before we can fill, anybody else's cup. We can't give what we don't have.
And that's what one of my church mothers say all the time. She says you cannot pour from an empty cup. Your cup has to be full, and then you have to give of the overflow. And that's Mother Patricia Lofton talks about that often. My mommy is on. Hey, Mom. She said, good morning.
Hi, Ella. Nice meeting you on here.
Beautiful. Can't wait for the book, Calista says. So people are definitely going to be getting this book. I will post up here shortly how you can get your copy of the book that is written by Jan Grobler. And definitely you want to be able to grab that and learn some information. She said, will do.
I just need to tell you, Calista is a very good friend of mine, and also a client. So she's from the UK watching your show today. She said she's not missing it. So thank you for watching, Calista.
Thank you for being a part of today's virtual studio audience here on the Kim Jacobs Show, Calista. And you're welcome to be a part every day that we do have the episodes Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you all are always welcome to be a part of the show. Tomorrow, just so everyone knows, is Freestyle Friday. So what that means is we talk about topics that are important to my viewers. So whatever topics you guys have already sent in, or if you type them in the comment section, we'll be talking about those topics tomorrow on Freestyle Friday. Okay, Allison said, hoping my friend Cher does get to see today's show. It's directly speaking to her concerns right now. The Kim Jacobs Show is providential. I believe that. Thank you so much, Allison. Okay, and so Calista says, Jan coaches me in the UK while in Namibia. We are so connected and his work is amazing. My family can attest to that. Proud woman. Excellent. Okay, you guys, this is good. So these are some topics y'all are interested in. Had my first session with Jan today. Wow. All right. Yes, I've had my family in South Africa catching the replay. I got the answer already. I've been in your area visiting. Okay, good question. Why? Why was referring to his first comment about Christ? I don't know. It was probably at the beginning of the show, whenever you. Yeah, we're going to go to the after party, Allison, too. So when we go to the after party, we can probably elaborate. Speaking of the after party, Allison is one of my Patreon members. And Jan, what that is people that pay $12 a month, they get after party content at the after party. Cool. And my guests come back and share some specific nuggets that they didn't share on the show. So Allison, join the after party and you can come right on and just talk to him directly. Wow. Okay. Self-abasement is like a poison. You drink it and you will die. So good. And then this woman is a mother. We call her Mother Patricia Lofton. She's over like 95 churches or so throughout the state of North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina. And she leads all of the women's department. It's like thousands of us. And she's one of our spiritual leaders. So any comment to that?
Well,
huh?
Thank you for that, Patricia. Yes, you're right. You drink it, you will die. That's correct. Nobody else can die from that resentment but ourselves.
Wow. That's good. Definitely will reach out. Looking forward to having you on the panel. My brother wants to get you on the panel.
Great stuff. Joanne, let me know. Kim has all my details.
Thanks, Kim and Jan. Okay. My mom said, Jan, so nice to meet you virtually also. I definitely will be getting your book.
Oh, thank
okay.
you. Sorry,
And Allison said, I'll see you at the after party. She got some questions, so she's going to see you at the after party. All right. So, I mean, it's been, we were getting so many nuggets. What are some other things you want to share with everyone? You said your mind is everything is one of the points that someone typed in the back office.
So I'd like to just run through the chapters, maybe. The book is 15 chapters, and so what I did was I started obviously with a chapter that's called The Living Dead. Okay, and that's so many people. I think Viktor Frankl said most people die at the age of 25, but they're not buried till the age of 75 or something like that. And I'm paraphrasing, and it's where so many of us comes from. We think mental health is a shame, and it's really not. Those days are long gone. So I start with where I came from and where I noticed so many other people came from. We think stuck, and we're not really stuck at all. And so then I go over to where I had to realize in chapter 2 that I didn't know everything. I didn't know everything. And Kim, let me tell you, there's very few couches in this town that I wasn't on, for some sort of mental health. And nobody could get that right in me. So many pastors prayed for me and drove out demons, but nothing helped. Okay. This process helped. So I had to accept, that maybe I don't know everything. Maybe that's just a fact that I assume I know it all. And maybe that's my ego. I don't know what I don't know. And so in chapter 3, I go to, and I titled it, Unworthiness is Nothing But a Sleeping Pill. And that's really, we sleep, we're fast asleep. We do the same day over and over and over, and we call it a life until eventually we pass away, and I realized that life is so short. Every single moment is so precious, that we need to wake up as a collective. We need to wake up.
Yes.
And it's love, right? Then in chapter 4, I talk about, I titled that chapter 4, for every dress rehearsal, there will be a show. Okay. And why I did
what?
For every dress rehearsal, there will be a show. Okay. So you can't have a thought all the time running through your mind, not expecting it to transmute into physical form. That is law. That's the law of transmutation. So I introduce the reader to that and help them to start managing their thoughts, start thinking positive thoughts for which you're ready to receive the outcome, because you are a creator by default. That it's in your DNA. And chapter 5, I titled that chapter, and guess what it's about? It is finished. Okay, it is finished. Your power words. And that is what Jesus said. He said tetelestai, but he said it after he forgave. After people that, the man on the cross, the murderer on the cross, said, I'm so sorry. Okay. So forgiveness, that's your tetelestai. That's the end of your struggle. But he also said 70 times 7. We need to.
Right. It's like, okay, I don't forgave this person. Like I think I done gave you about 489. Right. Let's hurry up here.
Correct. We're going to forgive till we very old. Okay. Always jokingly say to my clients, your teeth will be in a little cup on your bedside table, and you'll still need to learn and forgive, honey. So don't think it's ever over, but make
Right.
it easy and understand why you want to forgive. Then it's not an issue, right? So that's chapter 5. Chapter 6 is called Your Perfect Imperfection. And here I talk about your spiritual DNA, and that there's so much more to you than what meets the eye. You're not just a vulnerable, down and outcast human being. It's not who you are. You are the image of God. You are a son and a daughter of God, because that's what he calls us, right? In chapter 7, I talk about competition, and I have this principle that I realized we cannot create and compete all at the same time. Unhealthy competition takes us out of our creativity.
That's
So many of us
right.
have that discipline,
That
want to be
chapter alone is so helpful to people, because if you focus on running your race and staying in your lane and doing what you're gifted and talented to do, you don't have to compete with anybody else, because God makes it where everybody can use their
big.
gifts and their talents. That's the whole beauty of the world. Everybody should be doing something to be able to salt this earth, you know?
Exactly, Kim. Exactly. If I compete with you, I'm trying to be you, and I'm not you. I'm me.
Yeah, I don't like that's.
I'm
I
not
don't want to be. I don't want to be. I don't want to be Oprah. People say I'm not trying to be Oprah or even the next Oprah. I want to just be the best Kim that God created me to be. And then
there
don't
you
get me
go.
wrong. I love everything that Oprah has been gifted and talented to do. I'm so grateful for who God
Yes,
created her to be, and she has made a tremendous difference in this world. And so I
yes,
honor her and salute her and celebrate her. But I don't want to be her. You know, I don't want to be
exactly.
anybody. Kim.
Yes. You be Kim. Well done on that one. Okay. So, and then chapter 8 talks about the patterns of the past and how we can use the patterns of the past to see kind of a code of what it is that we are struggling against. Okay. What it is, and if you understand the code, you can follow it right back to its origination, and you can see, but what is it that I'm believing? What is it that I'm doing to myself?
Mhm.
Use the pattern, because the word also says that all things must turn together for the greater good. All things. So that negative pattern that keeps repeating itself in your life is there to show you something. Now, don't shove it around. Don't drink it away. Don't, drugs it away. I came from that background, right?
Mhm.
I'm saying to you, take that thing that gives you so much pain and help yourself, because it's trying to show you something, to help you, to heal you, and to lead you into a more prosperous life. Okay.
Love it. What's the next? Any more chapters? That's a lot of chapters. That's 10. You said 10 chapters so far. That's some good reading.
That's chapter 8. It's 312 pages to be exact. It's
312 pages. Okay. And how many chapters?
15.
15
15.
chapters. Keep going. Go, go, go. Tell us.
Thank you. Chapter 9, I address something that we all come from when we get to this place in our lives where we start to heal. We say, well, didn't I mess up too big time? Didn't I waste too much time and all of that? So chapter 9 is titled, Did You Blow Your Chances on a Good Life? Because we think that because I have such a dirty past, I can't make a 360, and live on the cutting edge and have a great life. That's not true. It is a conditioned truth. It's not the truth.
That's
Okay? We
good.
need to understand the truth will set us free, not a conditioned truth. Then in chapter 10, I'm so honored. This one is titled, You Are as Old as You'll Never Be.
Hmm.
And I dedicate this chapter to my good friend, Mrs. Jean Scott. She's 82 years old, Kim. She's writing a book as we speak. She refused to get old. She does not know how to get old, and I just love her to bits. And I learned so much from her.
Can you
She's
get her
like,
to come on the show?
sorry,
Can you get her to come on the show?
I can get her to come on the show. I'm very sure. Yes,
Please
she,
do.
she's a beautiful soul. I love her deeply. So it's dedicated to her, because today is the youngest we will ever be, right? We don't know if we have it tomorrow. So why do we fret about tomorrow? Why do we live in tomorrow if, we actually in today? This is the holy instant. This is where you and I create. This is the moment. There's nothing in half an hour's time yet, because we're not half an hour from now. We're in this moment. So
Right.
that is that chapter. And then chapter 12, I talk about asking. People are ashamed to ask. Yeah, Jesus said so many times, ask and you will receive. Ask and you will
Yes.
receive. So why do people not ask? And I address that. You know, I address that. So I debunk a lot of the religious understanding around not, that it's arrogant to ask. It's not.
No,
I can.
it's biblical. It's appropriate. You got to do it in order to ask and you will receive. If you don't ask, you'll never. How would you know if you?
Exactly. Exactly. I came to give you life and life abundantly. Why don't you just ask? Ask for what you want, right? So, yeah. And then chapter 13, I talk about, it's titled Map It, Then Tap It. And this is on how do I keep my vibration high? How will God give anything to an ungrateful person? Why do we even ask if we don't believe that we will get it? You can't, from the same frequency as doubt, manifest a good life. There's just no chance. Okay, we're fooling ourselves. And I learned this the hard way. This is where blind faith steps in. And then in chapter 14, I talk about the comfort zone, because that's a place where we all, many of us stay in the comfort zone because we're too scared of change. We're too scared of, being
Right.
classified as not, a mental health issue. And it's all a load of nonsense. I don't stand for that. And, it's actually brave people that does this work,
Right.
and time for us to stand up and say, you know what, you're not a victim, you're a victor, but you need to do the work. You need to want to do the work. And then
Wait, before you say the final chapter, let me tell you that Tommy is on here and says, very proud and excited for the launch of Jan's book and the fact that he is on your talk show, Kim. Jan has helped me realize my thoughts reflect in my behavior and the way others see me. So just wanted to get that comment in there from someone
thank you.
to virtually type a paragraph. You got to make sure you get that comment.
Thank you, Tommy. That's beautiful. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Chapter 15.
So chapter 15, I titled What We Don't Go For, We Say No For. And this chapter is filled up with testimonies from clients, just like you and I, normal people that comes through life and that came to me for help, and who I've been able and who I got to help change their life situation. Many of them just wanted to transform some area of their lives. There's a beautiful story of this lady. She's one of my life mastery clients. I'm seeing her later tonight, for a session. She was diagnosed infertile by 2 medical doctors. And she came to me and she said to me, yeah, I need help. And we started working with her mind. She fell pregnant, and about 6 to 8 weeks in, she lost the baby. And then she didn't give up. She came back. And we continued to work. Well, you know what, Kim? I get to see that little baby in mommy's tummy every Thursday evening at the Life Mastery class that I offer to my clients, and that she's attending. And healthy little baby boy, I didn't father him, but I did father him with helping her, and she did all the work. I just facilitated and loved her through the process. And yes,
be clear. Be clear about that. You're like, wait a minute, I just fathered the mind. I didn't father the child.
Exactly. And she's living proof that no matter what the diagnosis are, if you get your mind right, everything starts to change. It's the law of transmutation. And I love, love, love her testimony in the book, amongst others, like Callista's in there, that previously commented. So I've got beautiful clients that made significant changes through this, through this journey that I take them through. And the journey is in the book. Really in the book to a very large degree. There's some of the therapies that's not in there because you can't, do the therapy on yourself. You need somebody to help you. But please buy the book and start to plant the seed and nurture it and water it. And, Here's it. Here's it. It's coming. Kim, are you ready?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of your own way.
Yeah, come on. Don't even invite anything to do with hell, period, into your life. Whenever
No,
heaven should be our destiny and where we desire to be so we can have eternal life and life more abundantly here on this earth. So let's just get anything to do with hell out of any aspect of our lives, period. Okay. Because I know, yeah, let's just leave it at that. I don't want to go to my mother Lofton will be like, look here, you going a little bit too borderline with the wording and language. So let me just stay like that. Okay. Let me also make sure you guys know that Quest Church prayer line is beginning now as well. You can definitely go and be a part of that. 978-990-5000. Access code is 322083#. Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30. Pastor Jacobs is praying for COVID-19, for wildfires, for the earthquakes, for everything that's happening amongst the land. We need prayer. So make sure you be a part of the Quest Church prayer line Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30. People said that they definitely are going to be getting a copy of the book for her and for her friend too. I want to make sure I put, how can someone wants to know, can people pre-order the book? Where can they get this book?
they can get it on Amazon. They can't pre-order.
They
Okay.
can or cannot?
They cannot pre-order.
Okay.
It will be on Amazon on the 10th of October. If you like my Facebook page, as personally, the Jan Grobler page, or you want to like my Limitless page, which is my business page on Facebook, I will keep you posted there the day that it launch. Okay, so you can buy it on Amazon on the 10th of October. I'm still secretive about this book. You can't pre-order it yet.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So make sure that you get your copy of Get the Hell Out of Your Own Way, be available on Amazon October 10th. You cannot pre-order the book, so make sure you go ahead and get it when it comes out. Make sure you also stay connected. If you want to be able to follow Han on social media, you can just follow him at limit-less life, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
limit-lesslife.com. And so you'll be able to stay connected with him. And on Facebook and everywhere else, what is it called?
It's Limitless Life and Transformation Coaching, or they can like me and I can take them or invite them to the business page. It's Jan.Grobler, I think 39. But they can just put in Jan Grobler and they will see Life and Transformation Coach, owner of Limitless Life and Transformation Coaching.
Okay, I want to make sure I spell the last name, Grobler, right?
That's correct.
On Facebook. And where else?
On Instagram.
Okay. I'm going to put that up too. So you have a way to stay connected with Han. Make sure you all take advantage of this opportunity to stay connected with him. Follow him on his social media pages. And even was pronounced Jan Grobler, but it's spelled Jan Grobler. So either way, make sure you know how to stay connected with him. For those that are listening to the iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Deezer, and all of those, Spotify and everything that the Kim Jacobs Show is on, is spelled JanGrobler. If you're trying to stay connected with him on social media, JanGrobler, because you're not seeing the broadcast. So I need to make sure you know that. So yes, get out of your own way. Yes. And anything to do with hell, we don't want it. So we know that. We want that gone. All right.
Good.
Any closing comments? We're going to get ready to disconnect and go to the after party. So Jan, stay here. For those that are not a part of the after party, you should be going to Patreon. Somebody type that for me. Patreon.com. Mackenzie or Shannon type patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. That's how you sign up to be a part of the after party. You would be right backstage hearing from Jan and more. And I'm telling you, backstage, they go in. So y'all missing some good content. All right. Let's see. Patreon. Yeah, I'm gonna put this here and then we're gonna go ahead and disconnect. I think it was a very enlightening show. What did you feel? Uh, what
I
did you-
loved it. Kim, thank you so, so much. Thank you for having me, and for everyone that was online. I honor you and I want you to know there's greatness in you. You cannot give one breath on your own. You're being breathed. You are a beautiful being. Seek, 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 and you will find. God cannot fail you at all. Stay blessed and namaste. The
Aw.
divine in you recognizes the divine in you, and I honor that.
Thank you so much for coming on today. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to close, but I'm going to remove both Jan and myself from the screen. And many of you that have been watching throughout the week know that one of my very dear friends transitioned home, and I'm going to remove you and myself.